The best way to handle the challenges we are being faced with currently as a nation is not by words or policies alone. We must act upon it, what some agropreneurs have termed talk and do. I had a chat with Niji CEO Niji Group, and he elaborated on this. Enjoy the chat. Being someone that is into agriculture in a big way, you own a very big farm, large capacity, you run it yourself. How would you say, how would you rate your experience so far in agriculture? Most private sector agriculture practitioners, they have a lot to say. How would you rate yours?
Normally, agriculture is a kind of business that you need to be there. You cannot be an apprentice farmer. So for a proper presence on the farm, give you a lot of insight on the farm. Then for you being on ground, you are able to change a lot of things and you are able to take some drastic decisions. Farming is not a thing that you need to do now and you need to wait for another 1 or 2 weeks. So that's one thing about farming. So for the little time I've been to serious farming, I've seen that it's kind of a business that is good. You have the time is on your side. You wake up at your time. You reason it's your eye open and you have contact with the green environment. It's doable, it's good, and with Nigeria going to agriculture, at least in the next level now, I think it's a thing that we need to take as a business. I've been telling everybody that agriculture needs to be taken as a business, needed to be taken as a business. So that's how when you see a lot of students that read law, after they go to law school, so they are proud to say I'm a lawyer. So but when you see a lot of agrarian students, they say after even passing through or even with their masters and everything, they can't actually call themselves, I know I'm a farmer. So I really want people to be bold enough to actually add farmer, caller, Niji to their name. So you need to add farmer. So once you say, what's your name? You say, I'm farmer, so. So which is actually good for a farmer. You need to be bold and be proud about your business, about the farming business.
How would you access the present administration in terms of agriculture? What's your scaling for it?
Normally, what they are doing now is they are still creating awareness. They are still creating awareness. Creation is good, but implementation is what we need to really look at. I don't know how best they want to implement what they are trying to do, but awareness creation is good for people to say, okay, Nigeria, we are serious about farming. There's not only seriousness we need to. In Nigeria, everybody in the world knows that we talk too much. We major in minor. So, but I think we need to look at this business now, agricultural business. The government needs to look at it. The way they are creating awareness, they should actually focus it as a major business. On my own side, I've taken agriculture as the best business I've ever done. I've been into business for more than 25 years. But I've been to agricultural business. I started maybe like 4 or 5 years on proper mechanized farming. Now I've seen that it's good, it's loving, and it's sustainable. So my own is for this present government to look at agriculture as a sustainable business, not just creating awareness alone. Not just creating awareness, we need to look at it as a profit-making business. Not just holding the people just do farming and they cannot actually continue. There was no continuity in the past, but I think with the present situation, what they are doing now, I think there should be continuity if they do it in a proper way. When you look at Nigerian factors now, we don't have a good tractor. Most of the tractors they are bringing now, they are clone tractors. A tractor is supposed to be 10 tractors to maybe 1,000 acres. We have only 1 tractor to 1,000 acres of land. So we are not there yet. So for government creating awareness, they need to look at different things. How they can make the tractor available, accessible, and not just tractor, good tractor, not just clone tractor. We are looking at good tractor that farmers will buy and they will enjoy the value for money. That's what we are talking about. So then the value addition too. We need to training and retraining of the people who are really into core engineering, core post-harvest equipment, because we recorded a lot of post-harvest loss. And we cannot be borrowing a lot of ideas from all the countries to say we want to set up agricultural business. So we need to encourage the people here, because when you have a major breakdown, you cannot be flying expatriate all about. We have some people here that we need to look at the training. We need to train. And most of the mistakes we are making now in Nigeria is that we set up our processing plant too chunky, like a donkey. No. There's no continuity in what we do, and there's no sustainability in what they do, and they cannot do a projection line. For you to set up a factory, you must have done a projection for 2 years, not just 6 months a year. But for every Nigeria, they see the farmland and they do the projection for 6 months, and they bring equipment that cannot last for another, sustain even the growth of what they've planted for another 6 months. So they have problems. So we should look into appropriate technology of value addition, and we look into some of the crops we can do that can actually make us proud in Nigeria. I look at the Nigerian road, I'm sorry to say, I look at the Nigerian roadmap they've done. They have said that cassava is not there, and Nigeria is #1 producer of cassava in the whole world. So since that's what we know how to do best, so why don't you put that one as a major stream for us to say, okay, cassava is one of the things, one of the first priority for government intervention, because virtually everybody eats cassava. Virtually every part of cassava is useful, up to the peels. We can convert the peels to animal feed. We sell the stems, we eat the leaves. So the root, gari, fufu, flour, starch, a lot of multinationals are looking for starch. A lot of even other African countries are looking to export some of the cassava products from Nigeria, even to the neighboring countries, apart from the international market that are there. So when I look at the Nigerian roadmap in agriculture, I see that cassava is not really given the proper attention. I don't know why. The government need to look at that and see why not cassava in the forefront. Because cassava, it can be planted to create a job on cassava. For me, I can create almost 5,000 jobs immediately on cassava. What I've done. So that one will solve a kind of job creation in Nigeria. Then cassava can be grown around the year. It's not a seasonal crop that you do it, you don't do it. So by getting people engaged on the farm, from January to December, cassava can do it. So when you are creating a job creation, you can do it. Then when you now say, okay, the number of tonnage you get per acre or per hectare. So cassava is one of the biggest things that you can get, almost maybe like my farm I get between 30-35 tons. The least I get in my farm is 25 tons, up to 40 tons. So no any other crops can give you within the same acreage size of land, up to almost 45 tons. So if we are diversifying into agriculture, we should look at the one that we have comparative advantage on. So we know that rice is good for most of the country, but we look at the effort you use in putting rice. Nigeria will say we don't have money now to spend. And cassava, you spend little money, you get returns. So we look at all those value addition and what we're actually putting on it, and look at what we are doing.
The present administration has allocated 1.6% of its budget to agriculture. What do you think about this? Do you think that they are serious about the diversification of Nigeria's economy with this particular percentage?
Yeah, you know, I said it that they are creating awareness. It's not about the awareness. It's not about the awareness creation again. And I don't see government putting a lot of money on agriculture per se. So I am only looking at government creating a policy that will favor agriculture, creating a kind of a template environment that will favor agriculture. If they can do that one, then they leave the other one for people to do. I think so. The size of a budget, I don't see it as a major problem. So when we get to the river, we know how to cross it. But can the size of that amount of money in the budget be enough to do all those things? But if they know they are not going to do all those things, what kind of policy are they going to make around agriculture to make it doable for people? What kind of loan investment are they going to? What kind of loan are they going to put into agriculture? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? When you are still putting 10% to agriculture, it's still not low for agriculture. I'm sorry. 10%, they say single digit interest rate, 10%, 9%. It's still not for agriculture. Agriculture is a business that is difficult for people to do. When you see people that want to do it, you need to support them. So if they are looking about, you want to create policy, maybe like 5%, 3%, you create a lot of awareness, you make people go into it. So with less risk here, it's supposed to be a kind of less risky business. But when you put 10% and you want people to go into it, that means it's not attractive enough for me to do. And I cannot actually put my money on it. And farming is supposed to be a kind of a passion business. You must be passionate about farming before you go into it. You don't just do farming, you don't have interest in farming and you want to do it. No, you can't get it right. You need to have interest, you need to be passionate about farming, and you need to relocate and stay in the farm. And if I may actually even talk, most of the agric commissioners supposed to stay inside the farm estates, not in the secretariat. You have been made as an agric commissioner, so you need to stay in the farm. So people will come and see you. Your facility and everything will attract people. So you make your environment more attractive. So that's why we are going somewhere. But when you say you want to make farming attractive, you want to diversify economy on agric, the commissioners are still in the secretariat. They don't have any business in the area. They have business on the farm. So they should lead by example, and when they wake up in the morning, they visit farms, and anybody who wants to see them come to the farm estate or farm settlement to see the commissioner for agric.
And on that note, to wrap it up, thank you very much once again, Mr. Kolawole Adeniji, for really getting us involved, making us understand how